making a sesame crusted tuna with some teriyaki sauce. It's a really great piece of tuna we've got over here. I always like to try and get my tuna dark in color, and this is a really nice piece, and it happens to be a really nice cut. And when we slice this up at the end, which you'll see we'll get some really nice slices and we'll get some beautiful presentation. I like my tuna very rare. If people like to cook it up a little bit more, we can talk a little bit more about that as we're cooking our recipe. All right, very easy recipe, and I love this recipe because it's 2 ingredients. We've got a bowl of teriyaki sauce and a bowl of sesame seeds, pretty much even amounts. So what I usually do is I dip my tuna in the teriyaki sauce. We rinsed this off before we started and we patted it dry. It gets a little bit slippery. Just shake it off, and now we're going to put it inside our sesame. I'm just going to bring that up here a little bit more centered. We want to make sure the whole piece of tuna is well crusted. Okay, now we're ready to start the cooking process. Shake it off a little bit. I'm just going to plop that down on my cutting board for a minute. I'm putting my tuna down here, and now I'm just going to grab another piece, and we'll do another piece of tuna. So it goes first again into our teriyaki sauce, both sides. Shake it off. Now we're using a nice thick teriyaki sauce, and keep in mind that sesame has its own natural oils. So we may see what you think is a little bit of burning of the sesame seeds, which is just the oils coming through. So we do have to keep an eye on our pan to make sure that, you know, the oil doesn't get too hot mixed in with the natural oils of the sesame seeds. So we'll just keep making sure that the pan's not, you know, burning or sizzling too high. And then we'll get a really nice color on our sesame seed, which will make our tuna look really pretty as well, especially when we slice it up. One other thing that I wanted to mention is that sometimes sesame seeds pop. So you can have some sesame seeds popping all over the place, you know. So when you clean up, you'll make sure you'll see it around the frying pan, the extra sesame seeds. So right now, I preheated my pan, and now we're going to continue with our cooking of the sesame crusted tuna. So I'm just going to take my tuna on our board, I'm going to put it down on our side, and I've preheated my pan so it's nice and hot. I like to do that because I find if you make your pan hot, you use less olive oil. Using less oil is not a bad thing for the hips, right? So I'm just making sure that the oil is spread evenly over the bottom of my pan. I don't want it to get too smoky. I'm going to take my first piece of tuna, and you're going to be ready for it. How fantastic is that sound? I hope you can hear it loud and clear, saying sizzle. I love it. Okay, so I have lowered my heat, and I don't know if you can see some of the sesame seeds starting to pop, as I mentioned a little earlier. It smells really good too, even though it's just like oil and sesame seeds. It really has a fabulous smell. And we're just going to give it a couple of minutes on each side, monitoring the heat the whole time. I'm just going to take a little peek. See, look at that beautiful brown color that it's got. Absolutely fantastic. So I really wanted to give it like another minute, and then I'm going to turn over. And this is a great recipe. Remember we said we had 2 ingredients. We had teriyaki sauce, sesame seeds, along with the tuna, and then a bit of olive oil on a pan, 2 minutes on each side, and it's done. It's one of these very quick and easy meals, and it's very gourmet. It doesn't even need much garnishing, and I'll show you how to finish it up in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to turn, look how beautiful that is. And this happens to be a nice square cut. We're going to get some really nice slices out of this. Here we go. You want to make sure that the pan is not too hot to touch, and that's absolutely beautiful. I just want to bring it, the tuna around. See how it's got the different colours going? You can press it down a little bit more. Take a peek. Okay, this is ready. I'm going to put it on my plate for a minute. Gorgeous, gorgeous piece. Now I'm going to do it my second piece. I'm going to add a drop more olive oil at the same time. And I'm just going to put it straight down. Really, it's a no mess, no fuss recipe. And it's actually about 3/4 of an inch thick. So when you're not sure, you know, you have these big slabs of tuna and you're not sure how big to make, you know, how thick you want them. If you tell your fishmonger 3/4 of an inch, that should give you a really good slice and serving size. You may not want to serve a whole piece like this to your guests or to your family, but you'll see when we slice it up later, then you'll divide up the servings from the plate. Well, another little peek. I always take my little peeks. I want to know that we're getting the right balance here. I'm going to just lower my flame just a drop. When you see it start to smoke, and I'm not sure if you're getting that, but when you really start it to smoke, it means the olive oil is maybe a drop too high. We just want to lower it that a drop. Okay, this is a slightly thinner piece than the one we had before. Fantastic. I'm going to take that off because we really have a very thin piece here. Get my tongs. And we've got our second piece. I'm putting it on our plate. Now we need to get a nice clean wooden board for slicing. We don't ever use a board that we've already had our raw fish on to cut cooked fish because of, you know, bacteria. So we're going to just bring our fish over. Going to get some beautiful slices. Have a nice sharp knife. Whoops. Okay, see the colour? There's colour difference. That's what we want. Got some really nice pieces over here. I'm going to slice up the whole thing, both pieces. And see how it is a little rare in the middle? That's how it's supposed to be, but some people are a little bit nervous about that. So if they want, they can just take it and pop it in the oven for another 5 minutes and it'll cook up a little bit more. Just want to plate it up nicely. Just going to grab a few, put it on across our plate. Then you can serve it almost like a roast, like slices of roast, but this is a slice of like tuna. Beautiful. Some of these smaller pieces, you can just leave it for a little nibble and a snack. Something for the kids to try. Look at this, beautiful. Okay, and now we have some beautifully sliced tuna. Lovely. Some of the end pieces you'll see are a little bit more well cooked than other pieces, so you can give those to the family members that are a bit nervous about the rare tuna. You see how these are more white, cooked all the way in the middle. We have rare pieces here all the way down to more well done pieces. You can see the difference in the colour and the tone of the fish. Especially the best when it's the freshest off the frying pan, I guess, like most foods. But this is a lovely fish to eat at room temperature. You can make it sometimes on Friday and you can eat it on Saturday for lunch. It's very appetizing.